Good morning, good morning, good morning. Greetings to you from the garden. Alabasterflows Urban Gardening where life begins. Just wanted to give you a brief update. As you can see, I took the shade cloths off. And the reason I did that is I was noticing that a lot of my plants wasn't getting the pollination. The pollinators wasn't coming in, and some of the leaves was too light, bright, had pigment issues. So I knew that I was blocking too much sun. When I tell you, you got to treat your plants like it's a baby. You got to. But what would you do if you had a newborn babe? How would you treat that babe? What are some of the needs that child may need, that newborn may need? Remember, a newborn babe can't do anything for themselves, and you got to make sure you get proper nutrition. You got to clean them, you got to wash them, you got to change them, you got to protect them, you got to groom them, you got to teach them. You have to do everything for a new babe, and it's the same way that you have to treat your garden. Remember that it's alive. Your garden is a living vegetation, and the love that you give it comes back in the produce or the product of what you get, which is food. You get what you give. Seed sowing, planting, reaping. But anywho, let me give you an update. Remember this bed had squash and all this other lovely stuff in it. But anyway, I pulled the squash up because it had reached its final production, and plus I dealt with the squash bugs, and they kind of devastated it. But I got more than enough. I'm getting ready to put a different type of squash in the ground. Remember, whenever you have empty space in your bed, fill it with something else or do succession planting. I have kale right here. I put some more seeds in it, so I have more kale growing. I always have something continuously growing so that your bed, all the work you got to put in and money you got to put in for these beds, you might as well reap the benefit of it and just keep it growing. And to give you exercise too. But anyway, the radishes are coming along fine. Um, I guess my spearmint loved this over here because when I had it by itself, it wasn't growing. This is the cantaloupe tree. Let me show you. Um, a lot of times people can't tell the difference, and if it's a fruit flower, it's a female flower or a male flower. Even in the plant kingdom, the female gives the baby. The female is the produce. The female is the fruit. The male is the sperm. The male it carries the pollination that it needs in order for the female plant to produce and give you fruit. So look at this. This is a female. This is a cantaloupe that's getting ready to open and flower. I got a lot of them. And this is the male flower. So you see at the end of it, it don't have a bud. And then this one have the little bump on the end. I got a lot of cantaloupes that's getting ready to open and needs to be pollinated on both of these plants. Um, when I took my shade cloth off, just being out here this morning, I noticed like 4 or 5 bees just appeared out of nowhere. I said, oh, we in business now. My okra is coming along fine. I just planted it. Um, this is a bush watermelon. If you can look on here, I'm trying not to really touch it because I got a lot of watermelons on here, but mostly I have male flowers, and I'm fine whether you give me anything or not because it's still kind of small, so I'm not really looking for any produce right now. This is another cantaloupe tree. Again, these are the two that I thought weren't going to survive. So they are doing amazing. They are just growing up. My babies are growing up. That's the lettuce I put in the ground. Um, Now the cucumbers. The cucumbers. Yes, the cucumbers. And I am just noticing, you see how my leaves are just wilted over? I really needed to take that out, but let me just show you. Let me get past this tomato plant that I'm getting ready to plant. But I got cucumbers coming up everywhere. Wait a minute, let me find them. See the cucumber? Yay! It was some down here. There's a cucumber. That's the biggest cucumber that I have right here. I got some more up in here somewhere. There's one growing. Tomatoes. I got tomatoes coming up in here as well. Let me see if I can find one that I can show you. Because all of the... See, there's a tomato. Right there. I got to be careful because I don't want to knock it off. There's a tomato. And a couple of these are getting ready to produce tomatoes. But until you got pollinators, you gotta hand pollinate. You gotta be the midwife. And you gotta help them babies get birth. I gotta secure this one. But that's my little tiny Tim or tiny bush cherry tomato tree plant. We got tomatoes everywhere. You see that? Tomatoes. 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 Ooh, look at this one. That was the first tomato. That's a big one. Ooh, look at this one. That's a big one. That's a big one. We're going to have some good tomatoes. And the beans, of course, are doing what they do. But that's pretty much the update on that. I'm getting ready to turn the compost again. That's hard work. So, whew. This is the day that the Lord has made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it because He is the song and strength of my life. And I'm grateful. I got a lot of weeds and a lot of spider webs to knock down. But let me show you this. I got to clean all this up. I'll move that. But look at my lilies. Look at my lilies. One of my rose bushes finally starting to bounce back. I'm like, yes. Oh, it's been more than a notion to try to get it to bounce back. I'm finna clean all that up. That's gonna be a whole flower bed. Once I get there. Now this rose bush, on the other hand, we still fighting. But it seemed like it's gonna rebound, you know. If not, I'll cut it back down and I'll start over again next season like I did last year. But they do okay. Well, that's the update for now. Alabasterflows Urban Gardening, where life begins. And God is good, and His mercy endures forever. Y'all keep your head up. Know that weeping may endure for a night. Whatever your weeping may be, it only endures for a night. But joy comes in the morning. Whatever that joy may be that you need, it comes. You just have to trust in God. Stay in His word and keep your faith and keep pressing forward because God is good. Oh, yeah, y'all. I just planted, I just dropped some more succession planting, remember? I just dropped some more pepper plants, and I got some bagels right here, basil that I need to drop in the ground. So, and of course this one I got to get put in the ground ASAP. I got to go get a container. I need a big container because I want to grow it in a container. Of course, I just picked me some basil so I can put it in my food that I'm getting ready to cook. Y'all have a blessed day.